So I started posting on YouTube, and when I first started,
This is what the quality looked like before.
but now, not even 90 days later, it looks like this. And today I want to talk about literally everything that I've learned in that 90-day process that covers literally settings, audio, video quality, how to prep, everything that people don't really talk about online, because there are a lot of gurus online talking about YouTube, talking about frameworks, talking about how you should approach the problems, but none of them go over the actual settings and problems that you might face as a first-time creator. By the way, my name is Drew, I'm a marketer and a founder, and I run a small LinkedIn services business. And this month I started posting on YouTube, and I've learned a hell of a lot along the way. But there are two links down below. One is to get a free profile LinkedIn audit, and two is to get your profile completely sorted out by me if you think, oh, this guy actually really knows what he's talking about. Make sure to look at those at the end of the video, but otherwise, let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing is filming. Now, when I first started to film, I realized that the biggest problem with creating content isn't actually doing the work. It's one, the preparation that you have to do to create a good video, and two, all of the administration that you do in between that really slows the process down. Now, to give you some context, this video is being filmed on an iPhone, and it makes it really simple. But when I first started, I didn't have a MacBook. So what I was doing was I was having to transfer all my files onto a hard drive, and that was taking a long time because I had to download the file, save it to my files, then plug in a hard drive, and then transfer it over. And what you got to remember is that most files, especially video at high quality, is multiple gigabytes. So you have to have an easy way to transfer those files. Now, you can't airdrop them because it takes too long, but the way I found to make it easier was to save these files locally, and then what you can do is you can go onto your MacBook and you can transfer the files straight into your desktop. Now, you can airdrop if they're smaller files, but a lot of the time it's just really hard work. Now, the other biggest thing was actually recording. So when it came to settings, I wasn't sure how to record high quality and high definition. A lot of the people online will say, yeah, you can just use an iPhone, but if you just use your native video quality, it's really quite bad. So what I found was that you had to go into settings, into camera app, and make sure that you selected 4K at 30 frames per second, as well as I found that changing the aperture and changing the exposure made a really big difference. Now what I did was I just experimented, but I found that 2.2 and minus 0.3 are the best. That's just in my personal preference. The other thing that I did was make sure that I've got lighting off to the side. Lighting is really important, not only the background lighting, which you can see behind me, but the main key light, you get that Rembrandt lighting, which is basically to have one side of the face be darker. I also found that flipping the actual video at first makes it much easier and looks slightly better because your brain also is more used to seeing your face in the mirror, and actually that's the wrong way around that you see it. So that makes it sort of less cringy when you're watching your own videos back, especially when you're having to edit. The other thing that I found that was really, really important was to have good quality audio. So I bought myself one of these DJI mics. Literally just attach it into your iPhone, it clips on nice and easily, and that just made a huge difference because
This is what it sounds like without a microphone.
and this is what it sounds like with a mic. Also, I'd say when I'm consuming content myself, I'm happy to deal with a slightly worse quality photo or video, but if the audio is bad, it's horrible. It's like when you stream a film, you can actually deal with the video being slightly bad quality as long as the audio is decent. Now, in some of the videos that I've done, I've also found that recording your screen can be a bit hard to do, and make sure that you align it up when you're recording a video like a walkthrough. So the best way that I found to do this was to actually just record your screen directly through CapCut. And yes, that's the video editing software that I'm using just because it makes it super easy. Now, the other thing that I found, everyone will tell you, every single video that you watch will tell you the most important things are your thumbnail, your title, and your intro. And so that's where I've been focusing most of my time when it comes to producing content. I would say the best way to create thumbnails is literally just to take your idea, type that into YouTube, and then click on the settings, filter, and then filter by popularity. And then you can see what people are actually clicking on a similar kind of subject that you're talking about. Now, then what I do from there is I literally just pull that image, I screenshot it, take it into ChatGPT, and ask it to replace the person in the thumbnail instead of that person being me instead. And that seems to work quite decently, and you'll get a decent product straight away. The one thing I'll say is you don't get much continuity in between your thumbnails. If you look at some of the top creators, they all look quite similar. They've all got quite a similar style, but that does work quite well, and it's quite easy to create decent thumbnails, better than the average person, I would say, online. Now, the next thing is the intro. I like to script that out mostly. I would say 90% of the key talking points are included in that. Curiosity hook, something where, you know, the person can relate to. An intro to me then a call to authority, a CTA, and then jumping into the actual video itself, which I normally do completely unscripted. Those are a few of the things that I've found that really help me to create content online on YouTube. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to follow along. But that's it otherwise from me.